opens with siblings Henry and Natalie arriving in the small town of Chuglass after their mother's death. It's immediately clear Henry isn't a fan of the place, while Natalie tries to keep an optimistic outlook. As they unpack their new lives, they meet Don, their real estate agent who also runs a mobile petting zoo. Henry, an awkward young inventor, has never found fitting in easy. Knowing her brother will have a hard time fitting in at school, she bakes him a potato pizza to share with his classmates. On his way to school, Henry is distracted by a dusty video store, where he meets Garrett, an eccentric former 1980s video game champion nicknamed the Garbage Man, who now owns the shop. At school, disaster strikes when Henry's experimental jetpack is sabotaged, sending it crashing into the potato chip factory's beloved mascot. Facing expulsion from Vice Principal Marlene, Henry strikes a deal with Garrett to pretend to be his uncle. Welcome to Sandy's Timeline. Today, we're covering the 2025 thriller comedy Minecraft. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's dive in. We are then taken back in time to meet Steve, a struggling doorknob salesman chasing a childhood dream. His quest leads him to break into a mine, where he discovers two legendary relics, the Orb of Dominance and the Earth Crystal. When combined, they open a portal to the Overworld, a strange and beautiful land built entirely from easily shaped cubes. Steve carves out his own paradise there, but his exploration soon uncovers another portal, this one to the Nether, a hellish realm ruled by Malgosha, a gold-obsessed piglin who despises creativity. Fearing the orb's power to control the Overworld, Malgosha imprisons Steve. Before she can seize both relics, Steve's loyal dog, Dennis, escapes to the real world, hiding the orb and crystal under Steve's bed. Fast forward to the present, Garrett, struggling to keep his video game store afloat, faces eviction. Hoping to make quick cash, he attends a storage auction and wins the contents of Steve's old house. Dreaming of finding a rare Atari Cosmos, he instead uncovers Steve's belongings, including the orb and crystal. Disappointed, he puts them up for sale. Henry finds the relics in Garrett's shop, and when he combines them, they activate, leading him to Steve's mine. Concerned, Natalie calls Don, who tracks Henry's location. The four reunite, only to be pulled through the portal into the Overworld. On the other side of the portal, Malgosha learns that the orb has returned. She releases Steve from his Nether prison, demanding he retrieve it, revealing she has taken his dog, Dennis, hostage. That night, while fending off monsters, Henry discovers he can manipulate blocks and builds a wooden fortress. In the chaos, the Earth Crystal, still in Garrett's possession, is destroyed, sealing off the portal back to Earth. At dawn, Steve appears, defeats the remaining monsters, and explains that they'll need a replacement crystal from the Woodland mansion. He agrees to join their quest. To prepare, Steve leads the group to a nearby village and teaches them how to craft. But before they can set out, Piglins attack in search of the orb. Steve, Garrett, and Henry narrowly escape, while Natalie and Don are separated and end up befriending Dennis. In response, Malgosha unleashes the Great Hog, a colossal piglin beast. When Steve mentions he has a stash of diamonds, Garrett insists they make a detour, adding it as a condition for handing over the orb. They find the hoard, but Henry grows frustrated at their disregard for Natalie's safety. The Great Hog catches up to them, but they escape via minecarts, the beast destroyed by a swarm of creepers. Reaching the Woodland mansion, Steve and Garrett create a diversion, while Henry retrieves both the Earth Crystal and an Ender Pearl, a powerful teleportation tool. Malgosha arrives, destroys the mansion bridge, and seizes the orb. Steve and Henry barely escape as Garrett seemingly sacrifices himself in the blast. The two awaken in a mushroom house, reunited with Natalie, Don, and Dennis. With the orb now in her grasp, Malgosha supercharges the Nether portal, plunging the Overworld into darkness and declaring war. The group rallies an army of iron golems and crafts an arsenal to defend against the piglin invasion. While Steve duels Malgosha, Henry uses the Ender Pearl to reclaim the crystal, restoring sunlight and turning Malgosha's army into zombies. In the aftermath, the heroes return to Chuglass, Garrett revealed to have survived. Together, they create the hit video game Block City Battle Buddies. Dawn opens her zoo with Dennis as the star attraction. Natalie starts teaching self-defense, Henry finishes his jetpack, and Garrett revitalizes the game store with Steve by his side. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more movie deep dives, and remember, never trust a gold-obsessed piglin. This is Sandy's Timeline, signing off. See you in the next timeline.